Welcome back everyone, it's FNHusa57 here. We are back on Neverwinter on the Xbox One. Today will be a patch notes video covering the release of Underdark. This patch and update is on February 9th, 2016. And basically I'll answer the questions that I was asked most frequently first, then go into the rest of the detail on this patch because it is a very large patch and update. It was about approximately 2.5 gigs to download. So the first few things that you'll notice right off the bat is you actually have a 6th bag slot now. So that's kind of cool, more storage space. We also have a new lockbox, the Glorious Resurgence lockbox. That's pretty cool. And a ton of stuff has been moved to the trade bar merchant. So you can now buy your rank 7 runestones and enchantments with trade bars. You can buy the mass scrolls of life, stones of health, all of that with trade bars. You can now buy all of the old mounts that came out of previous lockboxes, the epic ones, not the legendaries, but like the giant beetle, Gorgon, Rage Drake. You can buy those. You can also get the gas spore, the all bear, as well as a couple other ones that are brand new. So something for you to keep in mind. And the gas spore has an equip bonus, increases your stamina regeneration by 20%. And the stamina regeneration is increased by an additional 10% while under the effect of the Underdark mount and companion affinity. That's something else that's new, because Underdark brought out a new campaign and a new set of quests for us to do. We'll cover that in a bit. You can also buy any of the campaigns or companions with trade bars. You can buy any of the artifacts at an uncommon variety with trade bars now, the ones that came out of the old lock boxes. Of course, there are a few that you cannot buy, like the Token of Chromatic Storm, which is the legendary one. And all fashion and dye items have now been moved to the trade bar merchant. Big question I know a lot of you are looking for is whether or not the co-wards are moved to the trade bar house. Unfortunately, I have no idea what's going on with that. All the patch notes, also no information on that. Coalescent wards are still available in the Zen market, but they are not even listed at all in the trade bar merchant. So I have no idea what they're doing with that. Hopefully they'll go ahead and get it fixed, because you really should be able to buy them, as it says wards and gems, but there are no wards. So that'll be interesting to see what happens there. Now on to a few of the things that they've actually patched. Reclamation Rock, the heroic encounter farm. If you don't know what it is, I'll leave a link to that tutorial. That has been patched. You no longer can do it. Burning Guidance has been patched for the paladins, so the Lagadin build is no longer viable. I'll also leave a link to that video, as well as a few other things like the bank glitch, which is where you actually used your legendary dragon keys. Let me go find them real quick. I don't think I have them on this character to show you, but you can buy them in the Zen market. Pretty easy anyways, and they're now an epic item, and they now open more chests. They now can be used on the chests in the Throne of the Dwarven Gods, Prophecy of Madness, the other Demogorgon, whatever the hell that is, and the epic version. The Lair of Lostmouth, Shores of Torn, Temple of Tiamat, and Kessel's Retreat. But the key is now consumed because the bank glitch has been patched. So unfortunately you can't do that. I will also leave a link in the description to the patch notes on Ark's website, so you can go and look at all of the different things that have been patched. But to give you an idea, there's been a lot of small things that were patched. There was a graphics update for Protector's Enclave and an adjustment to how the civilians move, so they no longer will clip through the staircases and things like that. Just a minor thing as far as that goes, unfortunately. Not a huge update, but it does make it look a little better. There are now new heroic encounters. demonic heroic encounters that will appear on the surface. They're located in the Dread Ring, Dwarven Valley, Icewind Pass, and well, the dragons, as well as your guild stronghold. There's been updates to the guild stronghold, including reducing the stronghold level that you need to actually get the set of artifact weapons from the stronghold, as well as there are new artifact weapons which will go back to Protector's Enclave, and I'm sure you've all seen the quests for them, but there are a new set of artifact weapons, actually 4 separate different elemental ones that you can get, 2 new skirmishes, the new campaign, which when you get to the end of that quest line, the campaign unlocks, and you can actually go through and do that 10-man raid, or whatever you want to call it. As far as there's been some balancing to the classes, I'm going to show you the artifact weapon quests, which you are, according to the patch notes, supposed to be able to do each one of these quests, but you can only do them one at a time. You'll talk to the druid here in Protector's Enclave, and you can get weapons of air, weapons of fire, weapons of water, or weapons of earth. They are marginally better than the elemental fire set, in the fact that they have a higher damage rating, higher power, higher crit, but instead of armor penetration, you lose that and you get recovery off of that set. So I'll go into detail on which set I'm going to get for my wizard later. Now, classes and balancing. The fact for the control wizard where Ice Knife, you would see the animation for it, but if the actual attack was canceled, say you got knocked back or you teleported or something like that, that has been fixed, so that's no longer a issue. That's not really a super big thing because I didn't notice that a whole lot. The Devoted Cleric has had multiple things upgraded and fixed on it. The Guardian Fighter's Knight's Valor no longer causes a damage loop when used in conjunction with the Paladin's Divine Protector. So you're no longer going to one-shot your Paladins, but you're no longer going to have that infinite damage feedback loop if you were running a Guardian Fighter and a Paladin. The Paladin had quite a few changes to it. Divine Protector no longer causes a damage loop when used in conjunction with Guardian Fighter's Knight's Valor. Prism will no longer trigger from healing caused by Bond of Virtue or heal over time effects. Not sure if that counts like the Cleric's heals that they put on you. It shouldn't, but I have to experiment with that. Prism can also no longer affect more than 5 targets. Sacred Weapon no longer triggers from Bond of Virtue heals, and Shield of Faith can now affect only a maximum of 10 targets, so it's not going to hit everybody in the instance if you're in like the Guild Stronghold or something like that. Guild Stronghold also has a new plot that you can build on. The Scourge Warlock Parting Blasphemy has been fixed, now currently benefits from the buffs and debuffs on the caster. The Hunter Ranger's Grasping Roots duration now properly matches its tooltip, so something a little bit minor there, but fairly important. Boons, the Icewind Dell Boon Avalanche. The stacks of Avalanche can now only be obtained at a max of 1 per second. It is a fairly interesting boon. Actually, let me go ahead and find it and I can show you there. It's the one that I'm currently running. But unfortunately, you can no longer gain those faster than 1 per second. Also, Burning Guidance has now been patched or nerfed, depending on what you want to call it, as to the fact you can only use Burning Guidance, which I don't have on this character. I have it on my Paladin, but it can only proc up to once per second at its fastest, so it's no longer a proc off every single heal. There's also been a boost to level scaling for those players who are being boosted to level 61 or above. You now gain additional hit points, damage, and damage resistance. That's going to make it easier for those players that are participating in like the CTA Call to Arms events and are not level 60. because it'll make it a little bit more balanced for you. So something for you to actually keep in mind there. There's also more updates, including the minor visual improvements for Protector's Enclave, a couple different things for Black Dagger runes and the Stronghold, as well as Cragmire Crypts. Icewind Dell, the needless distractions and safekeeping quests, those have been fixed so that they no longer enter a state where you cannot complete them and turn them in. That's a pretty nice thing. Also, in the campaigns, and this is probably my favorite, as you can see there's the new campaign, but for all the campaigns like Sharandar, Dread Ring, Icewind Dell, the keys that you can make in the actual campaign, say the Kessel's Retreat key, now the AD requirement from those has been removed. So you can actually make the Kessel's Retreat key, Malabog's Castle, anything like that, or even your keys like the Arcane Dragon key, the Mystic Dragon key, as you can see, no longer requires AD to make those. So that was the really good update for it. Like I said before, I'll leave a link in the description to the actual patch notes, because there's literally pages of patch notes on little minor things that have been changed and updated. I would literally have like a 20 or 30 minute video if I went through all of them, so you guys are more than welcome to look at that. But I've pretty much covered all of the key crucial things that have actually been changed, and I will do another video going through the quest line for the Underdark, as well as hopefully see you guys on Dying Light at some point too. So if you have any questions, comments, anything like that, make sure you leave a comment or message me in game. Otherwise, remember to go ahead and like, follow, and subscribe for more content. Thanks for watching.